And next thing you knew, I had committed to investing $10,000 in this program at a time where I barely even had $1,000. And I really had no clue how I was gonna make the first payment. If you feel like you're stuck in a job or a relationship that you hate, I got bad news for you. You're either gonna stay in that cycle until the day you die, or you're gonna do something ridiculously uncomfortable to break free from your cycle. I've chosen to face the uncomfortable feeling of jumping into the unknown multiple times, and investing in my first coaching program was one of the biggest financial stretches I've ever committed myself to. It is because of that I'm now comfortable with having conversations about larger amounts of money and making larger investments, and expecting larger amounts of income to flow into my bank account. If it wasn't for me leaning into my financial fear, I would still be playing it small. What's going on, everybody? It's your guy T Spice, speaker, coach, and author of the book Have the Guts to Follow Your Guts Why Playing It Safe is the Biggest Risk of All, and I am on a mission to inspire 1 million people to live a life by design instead of by default. Welcome to my YouTube channel where we talk all about the mindsets you need to shift if you want to live a life that's custom made to your vision. If you find any of this information even slightly valuable, please do not hesitate to like, share, comment, and subscribe for continued support. So I wanted to start my coaching business. I had no idea how to structure my passion for coaching and motivating others. I heard that it was a good idea for every coach to have a coach, and since I was going to be one, it made sense. I thought that in addition to any coaching that I would pay for, I would see firsthand how a coach would go through the process of conducting business with a client. So I started looking for a coach, but really I was looking for a mentor. So the first thing that I did was jump right onto Facebook, went into all the groups, I'm banging away at the keyboard telling everybody I need a coach. And I got tons of responses. My inbox was filled to the brim with people talking about, I can coach you, let's set up a discovery call, let's talk, let's do this, let's do that. And it was a little overwhelming at first, but this is what I asked for. So I started setting up discovery call after discovery call after discovery call, and they were asking me a lot of the same questions, so I was gaining some clarity on what I actually was looking for and what I actually wanted out of a coaching relationship. But one thing that was unfortunately similar about all of the coaches that I was being interviewed by and interviewing was that when we got to the money part of the conversation, they would quote me at $3,000 or $5,000, usually somewhere in between there. And when I said I needed to think about it, they said, okay, bye. Go think about it. What they were doing was letting me off the hook. I told these coaches that there is something that I wanted, and I had an obvious money blockage that was stopping me from getting what I wanted, which is why I needed a coach in the first place. And by these coaches allowing me to escape from that uncomfortable financial conversation, they already failed me as a coach. And this went on for some time until I got on the phone with this one coach. We'll call him Josh, because that's his name. Josh asked me many of the same questions that the other coaches were asking me to find out if I was a good fit for his program. And I did feel a genuine connection. I did feel like he was genuinely interested in my point of view, which was a major point for him. But what happened that made the difference in this conversation is when we got to the money conversation, the most uncomfortable part of it. Not only was Josh secure and confident in his pricing, but he was also secure and confident that I would be able to cover the cost and make the investment, even if I had no idea that I would be. So we get to the end of the conversation, and he tells me that the investment for this program is $10,000. And I was like, okay, well, it was nice talking to you, but I don't have $10,000. I'm not at that level. This isn't gonna happen. It was a pleasure. Peace out. But he didn't allow that to go down. See, in our conversation, I had already told him all of the reasons why I absolutely needed a coach. And when I say I needed a coach, I mean I needed somebody to hold me to my higher self. I needed somebody to stretch me past my comfort zone, and I needed somebody to not let me slide backwards and shrink myself to where I wasn't getting the resources. So when he saw me get uncomfortable about the $10,000 price and he heard me say, okay, let me think about it, he didn't flinch a muscle. He asked another question, well, what do we need to think about? And right then and there, I was already put back on my heels. What do you mean, what do we need to think about? This is my bank account. I need to get my finances together or I don't have it. Point blank period, take a hint. He held the space for me to feel uncomfortable, and he reflected back to me all of the reasons why I needed to be committed to this mission. And at that moment, I was either going to be all in on my dream and do what it takes, no matter how uncomfortable it was. I was gonna admit to myself that I was fooling myself, I was wasting my time, and I might as well have just given it up right then and there. I thank God that something in me completely eliminated this option off of the table. There was no turning back. If I wasn't going to do this, what was I more passionate about? What was I more excited about? Nothing. So I was either gonna move forward or I was gonna give up completely. And if it weren't for Josh holding that space in this uncomfortable conversation and coaching me through one of my financial blockages to more money than I've ever had at one time, I'd still be playing it small. So from that moment, I was convinced that this is exactly what I needed because I wanted to continuously stretch myself. I wanted to implement a strategy into my coaching business that would ensure that I'd be successful, but also that I would be impacting lives to the best of my ability. And that is exactly what this program delivered for me. They gave me so many insights into exactly how a coaching program is run and how transformation happens. First for myself, then for my clients. So while this may seem like a pushy sales tactic to many people, I want to explain to you how your ego works and how your ego blocks your blessings. Sometimes your ego will make up a story in your head about how this person is wrong or how you're being mistreated in order to stop you from going into the uncomfortable zone and really pushing yourself to show up. Is that happening in your life? How is your ego making you feel uncomfortable and telling you stories about why you shouldn't do something that you know is beneficial to you right now? So if you're a coach or an entrepreneur or a creative that wants to push some structure and get some clarity in their life, I want to offer you 3 points from my experience hiring my first coach for $10,000. First off, hiring a coach helped me get clear on who I was and why I was doing what I was doing. Number 2, my coach gave me a better understanding of exactly how a coaching program looks so that I could create one for myself. And number 3, the most important value that I got from hiring a coach the first time was my coach stretched me to become more than I thought that I was and show up as my higher self, because my life isn't about me. It's about who I can serve. If you resonated at all with any part of this video and you feel like you're stuck in a cycle, or you have a dream that's bigger than your job, or you want to feel fully expressed, I want to invite you to have a free breakthrough call with me. Find the link in the description, DM me, comment, breakthrough, whatever you got to do. Grab my attention. I will connect with you and we'll set up a 60-minute deep dive to generate clarity, have you feeling renewed, refreshed, and ready to take massive action on your goals. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. Love, love, be well, and don't forget to have the guts to follow your guts. Peace.